Warning. The following content contains sounds. It has been shown that some sapiens of the Homo have episodic memory towards some sounds, therefore forming a bad reaction to certain sounds. Nevertheless, the sounds we use are only to mark actions and notions, which are, of course, ridiculous. We are not mocking the people who have them. No. Because in time, you may change what you do and change what you think. Having said that, this is Correlation Sensation, a show where I talk about your mother's mammalian protuberances. Yes. They come in all sorts of shapes, colors, and textures and smells. But of course, we will proceed to something more important. Survey and not gatherer. Today, I'm going to try something different because statistics state that every single podcast goes through phases of trying things and not trying things,
Yes.
So this time, I'm going to do the mic check at the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
That will show
good.
that we're doing growth because we're just switching things out. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fucking mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Void,
Yes.
how was your day?
Good.
Have you seen my anal lobe?
No. Is it hanging on the tree?
Oh, that's where I put it.
Yeah, remember I gave you the ornament hook?
You totally did.
The one with the star on it.
Yes. Okay, that was a normal mic check for us.
The Star of David.
Now, this is episode 99. If you were at episode 100 because you're one of those people that thinks 100 is a special number, it's only 1% difference in all the growth that we had throughout all the time of these podcasts. So, welcome back to episode 99. And I probably told you, yes, in the week after this one, where we record 100, to go back to 99 because why would you start on part 2 of one dude? You'll miss out on so much.
Seriously, this guy was a fucking nut.
Yeah, and we're not really going to go into as much of the crazy shit about him. We're just going into, the more earlier part of his life.
Okay, sounds like I'm gonna have to hold back.
Let me drink my drug. Yerba mate. Caffeine. So, our topic for today is Marquis de Sade. Anyone here heard of Marquis de Sade?
I heard of him today. And I think a couple times this week.
Yeah, when you talked about him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Apparently, he's big in the true crime community.
It's being fucked up.
We're
Yeah.
not getting into that, son. Not right now.
Well, a lot of the fucked upness is more of a religious bullshit.
Yeah, his early childhood was really fucked up, too.
Yeah. So, let's do this, huh?
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Who's Stan?
You are, sweetie.
My name's Gork.
It's just a saying. 'Cause it rhymes.
Yeah?
That's the plan, Stan.
Okay. You could say, that's the plan, ape man. Human. Yeah, you could call me human. Although by now everybody knows the cat's out of the bag.
Or the
What?
chimpanzee.
What cat got out of the bag?
Yeah, we did let go of those teenagers.
Yeah, we did.
Good thing we just shook them really hard.
Yeah, I think they only have like a little bit of shaken baby syndrome.
You put them in a paint mixer.
Shaken teenager.
Actually, they just put themselves in there.
They said they were trying to escape. So they jumped into the big bucket of paint.
They thought it was
Shaker.
some space capsule.
Yeah, they're pretty stupid.
Yeah,
They think they know everything, but they
Yeah.
really don't.
that was a DeWalt paint mixer. It said DeWalt on the side. What do you think? It was a big conspiracy, and we're all just like, all the names of all the big companies are really names of alien companies.
They probably don't even know what DeWalt is because they never use tools in their life. They're too busy staring at a screen all day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it was made by Sony or LG, they would know exactly what it was. So,
Yes, so
if you're new to this podcast, welcome. Don't worry, we're friendly. We won't hurt you. Unless if you come over here.
only if you like it or you ask.
Yeah, or you beg.
Yes, please beg.
That's my favorite. Anyways, back to this topic, yeah. Now you have an idea of what we're all about. About 9 months prior to June 2nd of 1740, Marie Eleanor Merle de Carman, a lady that waited on the Princess de Conde, allowed a biological injection of semen from the one male sapien of the Homo named Count Jean-Baptiste Francois Joseph de Sade, who served as a diplomat to King Louis XV. Why their long names? I will tell you why. Because their family lineage. We have an Italian human from the 14th century that spent enough time writing poems that a canonized set of lines are said to have immortalized him. Wonder where he lives now. Void,
Yes.
you want to look this guy up?
I think he probably is dead.
The Italian poet from the 14th century?
Oh, no.
Oh,
You're asking if someone is alive from the 14th century?
I think that's impossible.
they said his poetry immortalized him.
I think it's more the memory.
It's not like magical words?
No, that's a metaphor, babe.
A metaphor?
Yes.
How does that work?
You
No.
say something that is unrealistic to relates to the topic.
So, like, my penis is a popsicle. Come and lick it?
Halfway there.
No, like,
That's a
my
euphemism.
penis is a throbbing wand.
A throbbing wand.
Yes.
Does shoot magical stuff.
Yes.
That would work.
Instead of my big cock squirts nut all over the place.
Yeah, I don't understand, like, in the, what they call that. For some reason, they call it nerd community or Dungeons and Dragons community. Where you have mana. Why don't they just call it spunk? They all have magical wands they yank on. And the magic that comes out is spunk.
Well, sometimes also they don't play a magic user.
They say, my spunk meter's low. I need to go to the corner and jerk off.
Well, I think they actually have a limit. They can use 1 power per day, so maybe that's their spunk power.
See, he knows how the game works. Just ask him.
Void,
I only dabbled.
you only dabbled?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's bad. You need to eat more protein. You'll get the big stream.
What is this, Ghostbusters now?
There's nothing wrong.
Ectoplasm! Oh!
There's nothing wrong with dabbling in this stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with dabbling, but usually when you do it, don't you want it to be like a...
You need to diddle dally.
You know they got the pills to make you shoot heavy loads.
Yeah, have you tried it?
No, I just saw an ad about it.
Diddle your jolly.
Is it like the ones that you see at the gas station? Like,
No, it's a little bit different.
oh, man.
Okay, when I said dilly your daddly, I didn't mean right here. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Fucking
boy.
button up your pants.
There's no button, it's a zipper.
Okay, zipper up your pants.
Don't get the whole Frankenbeans, okay?
Okay. I don't want to ruin your chances for grandchildren.
On
Yeah,
second
don't-
thought, zip it up. Zip it all off.
We're not trying to do a circumcision.
Where's my hammer?
I think it's upstairs, baby.
We need to do some chestnuts.
Roasting on an open fire.
Yeah, we need to have one of those fires. We'll definitely roast some your chestnuts.
You like the lights?
Very pretty.
Yeah. We kind of did a motif. Since she was raised by Christians and I was raised by Jews, we do a blue Christmas tree.
Blue and silver.
Yeah.
I already had some stuff from a previous Christmas. Although I don't really look at the Christian religion like that anymore. It's very corrupt.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you know who else did that?
Christmas is still fun for my big son, my baby boy.
Yes.
Why is there a bicycle wrapped in toilet paper and newspaper? That's not my present, is it?
Oh shit, he knows what it is, baby.
You do know I have a car and a bicycle already, so I don't need those things.
Well, we thought you'd like this one.
Oh, great. Is it with the dildo attachment?
No, we stole this one from a 14-year-old boy at the park.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be too small for me anyways.
No, he was pretty big.
He was a big 14-year-old.
Yeah, you can have big 14-year-olds.
This is a
I'm certain.
10-speed bike. This is like a
I have a
300
15-speed bike.
Well, this is like a $300 bike, son. And it's got one of those little carts in the back, you know, where you could put your
Does
little
it have
brother.
tassels and a little
if you
bell,
have
and is
one?
it pink?
We took the baby that was in the back and threw him in the pond at the park, and the 14-year-old
Now he's being
boy
raised
was
by
like,
coys, right?
"That's my baby brother!" Ah! And he had to run after his little baby brother, and then we grabbed the bike and we dragged it.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of that day.
I remember one of my old babysitters got his bike stolen, but then we found it in the middle of the street with the guy, and we jumped him for it.
Very, very kind of you, Void.
That's a good story. I wish you would have told me about that one sooner.
I know.
Now, remember how you said all that bullshit with religion?
Yes.
Speaking of which, we have Marquis de Sade. They said they saw it on one documentary I watched. But if sadism is named after him, why wouldn't his name just be Marquis de Sade? It's spelled like Sade too. S-A-D-E.
Maybe it's just accent differences.
Yeah, that's all.
That's what I was thinking
Oh,
too.
like croissant. He's really croissant.
Croissant.
Ha ha ha. He's a French.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, his family lineage goes back to Italy. But that's, you know, a hip scop and a bippity bop. You got yourself France to Italy and back.
A hip stop and a hip, what? A hip stop, bippity bop?
Yeah. You know, wop, 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 wop.
Yes, I get it.
Wet ass pussy.
Wop?
Wop, 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 wop,
Oh,
wop, wop.
that word. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they turned it into an acronym. Anyways, the noble family of Marquis de Sade is foremost recognized as being related to the House of Condé, which would explain why Marquis de Sade's mommy, Marie Eleanor, took care of the princess of the Condé family.
Oh, I bet she did. I bet she
Yeah.
did take care of the princess.
Well, not for long. Now, when June 2nd of 1740 came around, Marquis de Sade, originally named Donatien Alphonse Francois, Count de Sade, destroyed his mother's vagina. That was his first sexual act, making way to a moment I feel that he might have enjoyed. I mean, After I read what, he was known to have done and how sadism is named after him. I mean, who wouldn't think that? No?
Maybe it's just a coincidence because you're not really a cogent being when you're born.
Yeah, I think a lot of the sick shit that, as you grow up and go through a lot of bullshit and trauma, it kind of makes you a sick person. It can either make you better or worse. Sometimes worse until one day you are at rock bottom and you have to pull yourself up off the ground and put yourself back together.
Maybe.
I don't think that happened to this guy.
No, not when you're born into nobility. Now, I don't want to toot my horn and being able to perform mental yoga in order to prove how this is all related to neuroscience and its history. But I will naturally toot my horn, because this is quite a gem I just stumbled upon. And if I make it sound like I am a great, all-knowing, and magnificent being, that I am, then more people are bound to listen to me. Alright, you guys?
Confidence is key.
Goddamn right. If I believe my bullshit, then everybody else will. Besides the people smart enough to see my bullshit. And those people don't matter. Because most people
They're not smart enough.
They're really, really happy and content with listening to a strong male figure telling them what to do.
Yeah.
Yes, you listen to our podcast
they've been
now.
taught to do that.
Yes. Grovel with your headphones. So, I would bet money that many humans listening will come to the conjecture that the source of Marquis de Sade's thoughts on sexuality came from a young age, and more specifically, his early education. Source 1 was poor in detail, so I found Source 3. Source 1 was Britannica, Source 3 is Biography.com.
Okay.
Source 3 indicated that at the age of 4, Marquis de Sade was a spoiled little human brat. He was so self-centered enough to feel compelled to completely give this French prince an ass-whooping of a lifetime.
I heard about this. You told me about it.
Yeah. At least this is how it sounded by Source 3.
Okay.
But Source 4 had the Marquis de Sade at the age of 5, when his mother abandoned him. Following this, as some sort of punishment, Marquis de Sade was sent to his uncle. Although I did not read any indication from any authority that this would have been evidence for what I'm about to speculate on, Marquis de Sade was taught by his own uncle, who was an abbot at the church in the south of France, for early schooling. I have a correlation sensation brewing that Marquis de Sade was touched by his uncle. Source 3 actually confirmed my bias by saying that his uncle had introduced young Marquis de Sade to debauchery. Then it appears to me that in Source 4, with illumination, that his uncle had a mistress that lived with him at the church. She and him would bang out in front of him. And then there's some indication, maybe some belief from some of the writings of Marquis de Sade, that his uncle also diddled his mistress's daughter.
Oh, that's just terrible.
No age was given.
It was pretty disgustingly descriptive.
That is from the documentary. But
Yes.
there are books from this poorly misled human, Marquis de Sade, that depict what his uncle did at the church. And what other clergymen did at the church. With each other, and little boys, and little girls, and all that fucked up shit.
I mean, a lot of this stuff just came out and they're trying to cover it up. It's not really in the news. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of children over the years that have been covered up and killed and stolen and put into prostitution and children's homes and all kinds of shit. I've read about it that the Catholic Church has hidden from society.
I think I'm going to make one of Robert Hooke's favorite drugs.
Chocolate?
Chocolate.
To make some hot chocolate?
Hot and bubbly.
I want some hot chocolate.
Okay, let me do that. Let me
Yeah,
pause
with
it.
some of that milk, that fucking organic milk.
We'll be right back after this short, brief. Hot cocoa.
Yes, cocoa brick.
So good.
Cuckoo brick.
Cocoa brick. I was leaning over and I stumbled my words.
On the brick of cuckoo.
Cacao.
Excuse me.
A little bit of cinnamon in there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you to the slave labor that made the cocoa.
Yes, you're welcome.
Praise the slaves.
I made the cocoa.
Like Marquis de Sade. Praise the slave.
Jesus.
So, at the age of 6, Marquis de Sade was a party animal with his uncle, the abbot from the church in southern France. The young ape stayed with his uncle for 4 additional years.
Till he was 10?
Yes. Did you read this?
No, I'm just guessing because you said 4 years and he's 6, so 10.
Yeah, I was just about to say until he was at the age of 10.
Yes. That's how math works.
Wow, I'm speechless. Where'd you learn how to do the addition?
I started using my penis, toes, and hands to count and do multiplication. I can even times by 9. You got me an abacus for Christmas last year. What do you think I did all year with it?
I don't know. I thought you ate it.
I'm super impressed, son. You're
I'm
doing
really
a good
happy.
job.
I mean, unless Mom steals it for anal beads, but okay.
No, I have my own anal beads. I don't
No.
need that.
Okay.
If you don't shave your bush, you can use every single hair on your scrotum to count too.
I was just going to say you can use your nutsack.
Yeah, you have 2 balls and 1 dick. You have 3 instead of just the 1 penis, you know? You have 1 penis, right? Not more than 1?
I mean, I may have been born in radioactive waste, but I didn't grow any extra limbs. I only lost 1.
I've only
Hey,
ever
don't call
used
your mom
one.
that. You gotta be more respectful than calling your mom radioactive waste. She's
Well,
right
isn't
here.
that what planet Earth is? Just a dumping ground for radioactive waste?
Void.
I mean, how do you think the Homo sapiens came to be on the planet?
Stop giving company
secrets.
secrets.
It was our excrement, our radioactive excrement that we dropped on our trip that...
They're gonna start putting things together, Void.
Oh, okay, sorry.
They're gonna know that the Walt's an alien company and that we're dropping toxic radioactive waste in their ocean, just like they do.
Most of us don't know they're doing it, though. They hide it
Are
from
you
us.
sure they don't know, or do people just pretend like they don't care?
I read about the whole community that got cancer because it was a dumping ground.
No, we care. We give a shit. The government doesn't. They just do it. They don't give a fuck if we want it or not.
Yeah, but
And
They
if you...
grease the wheels with money.
If we voice our opinion or thoughts or anything, well, not us, but a lot of the, Native Americans, they just end up going to jail. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, us as in the pejorative second person, you as in...
I'm an American,
Yes.
and I don't agree that they're doing this shit.
Yep, same here.
I don't want them to ruin the earth either. I live here, and so does my son, my baby.
Yes, I may look ugly, but at least I have a mother's love.
And maybe someday extra love from your mom.
There'd be a lot of cognitive dissonance for you there, Void.
And someday, hopefully, we'll have some grandbabies.
Because your
Daddy
mother loves this planet and she wants to keep it alive, and you're over here dumping radioactive waste.
That was in the before times.
Yeah, that's how we
yesterday was the
remember?
before times too. Yes, before now times.
I mean, what is it that you put in the toilet anyways?
Oh, that's shit. That's our shit.
Don't talk about my dark
Or
matter.
do you guys put something else in the toilet? No, you told me if we put dark matter on this planet Earth, it's like a black hole and it'll all get sucked into it. Don't tell me you shit that stuff in the pipes.
I love you, honey bun.
Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? You look at me in the eye and you tell me.
Honey, you calm down yet?
Are you putting dark matter in the toilet pipes?
You already know the truth. I won't confirm it until you've calmed down.
Well, I don't know if I can calm down, because now I'm scared we're all going to get sucked into your shit. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Back to topic.
I'm very disappointed in you. Shut up, son.
It's just
You
minute.
shut up.
It's just minute traces, honey buns.
Your new traces.
Yeah,
minute traces.
Like 10 parts per million, okay?
So it won't suck the whole Earth. But what if you
No,
shit?
it just makes the shit smaller, more compact.
But what if you shit so much that eventually it all comes together and affects the world?
Everything affects everything, baby.
So my grandbabies are gonna get sucked into dark matter?
Oh,
Nah.
I think the world will flood before it's even a problem from natural causes.
Okay.
Well, that's why we're here in Nebraska for it. We're in the clear. That's why we chose this part.
Yes, the new country of Nebraska.
Nebraska stand.
Nebraska, Stan.
Instead of everyone wearing a turban, we all wear corn hats. Wait, that already happens.
Yes. The nice, delectable foam corn hats.
The corn huskers. Those fucks.
Yeah.
Why are they so crazy about that team here? I don't understand.
Because they don't accomplish anything of their own merit or worth.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, if it's just sitting there relaxing, enjoying a beer, watching the game, that's fine, but you don't have to be a fanatic about it.
Yeah, they're absolutely insane about the Huskers here.
So it's tradition for you, boy.
No, me and my groundskeeper like to eat pizza and watch the game.
Yeah?
Plus, his grandmother really liked it.
So that's what you do? You just sit around and you're like, I wonder how much Nebraska's going to lose this time.
Well, they're winning until they lose.
Yeah, they love doing that, right? They give you
Yeah,
hopes
they
up.
are winning until they lose. That's absolutely correct,
You know,
son.
they're always winning until they lose.
It was even till the fourth quarter this time.
And then they'll just say, that's not real. Those are fake votes. Oh, wait, that's something completely different.
Well, that's natural human thing. You know, many humans have, you know.
Denial?
Yeah.
Lack of irony.
That explains why most people don't talk about or want to talk about how their owners are destroying their own planet, which are us. But I mean, yeah, they can think it was other humans.
Are you my owner, sweetie?
Yes.
Okay.
Of your heart. There we go. I fixed it.
No, I own your mom. Like, I
Yeah,
bought
we're
her.
married. I signed a paper
I bought her from herself.
saying that he's my owner and keeper now.
Yeah, all
I
she gets
signed
is
that
half of
paper.
everything. That's all she gets. Half of everything. That was the prenup.
We
Okay,
didn't
get out the
sign-
chainsaw for the kids.
We didn't sign a prenup.
Wow, you are pretty dizzy, if you want to call it
I
that.
did not sign a prenup.
Oh, remember that time I took you down to the library and you thought it was a bar?
You know what? I took you in from your box
Yes, I
into
love it.
my home.
It was so wonderful. I appreciate it so much, but now I own you.
You son of a bitch.
That's okay, honey. You get half of everything afterwards.
So it's half of nothing.
Afterwards, where are you going?
Well, I can't stay here when this place implodes.
So you're just gonna leave me with half of everything?
You want to come?
Yeah, why would I want to stay here without you?
Oh, okay, cool.
You're an asshole.
Oh,
You
come
don't
on.
even think of me that I want to come or not.
I don't need to tell you about your
Most men think about that too, but in bed.
gallivanting around Nevada with Tom Nye.
You know what? We didn't talk about our
And
agreement.
you buried him up to his head.
You need to stop
For the buzzards to eat.
bringing up Tom Nye. That was over months ago.
You let him eat my blue waffle.
He asked.
Woman, that's my blue waffle.
Well, yes, now you own it.
I
Well, you
owned it
owned it
before
then.
Tom died, but
Yeah,
he got
that's true.
he stole it.
But we
I
didn't.
assume
That
if
thief.
he licks it, he owns it. Ha
We
ha
didn't
ha ha
talk
ha.
about the rules of our entanglements.
No legally binding contract is formed with saliva and blue waffle, Void.
I was joking.
I know, but it doesn't make any sense. Why would it be funny?
I've been a good girl ever since, and only if you've given me a permission.
Permission?
Permission.
Intermission.
That's the only time I've ever stepped out on you.
Yeah, that was an intermission, all right.
That's permission based.
So anyway,
And I expect the same from you.
the young ape stayed until he was 10 for 6 years of corruption and ungodly thoughts and actions with a man of God. I watched a cheaply done documentary, Source 4, and they are the only one that claimed Marquis de Sade was abandoned by his mother at the age of 5, without mention of Marquis de Sade beating up the prince. Keep in mind, it seems as though, much like animal cruelty from humans studying anatomy, that many in academia have made a little brush over here and a brush over there, to cover up the fact that, all the sick and twisted things that Marquis de Sade did. He did a lot for social thought, the liberation of people's sexuality because of his writing. He kind of made it look like, well, those people fornicating over there, they're just fornicating. They're not doing all this stuff that Marquis de Sade wrote about. It widened the spectrum of what people thought were things that people did in society. And it opened it up and talked about things people did in the Royal Society that were not discussed.
And they didn't want people to know about it.
So when you canonize a book like this, it does a huge social revolution where people start to go, well, people would think that kind of shit, let alone do that kind of shit. And oh my God, wow, that's not as bad as what I did wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah, I just stuck it in her butt without asking. Oops, wrong hole.
That's okay. She was property.
Oh, well, I'm your property too now. You think you could just stick it in my butt without asking?
That's a formality. Not really my property. At least not according to the humans. But according to the grand scheme of things, you are much, much my property. Because I'm an alien. I'm superior to humans. Your laws don't affect me.
I don't mind being your property as long as it's something that I allow.
Well, yeah, we're talking about in real life or in bedtime?
No, we're talking about in real life.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And in the bedroom.
Oh.
High five.
Oh, yeah, swing. Whatever they say. Boy, oy, 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 oy. Someone said we sound like Beavis and Butthead.
I guess it's a compliment, unless it's saying plagiarism.
I mean, they made a lot of money, so...
Well, it must be good.
Yes.
Yeah, anyways. So, let's go over here. I have no doubt that Marquis de Sade forced himself upon others, for he is noted for desiring a more futile 11th century lordship style of government, at least according to some of the books he wrote, although there are contradictions in other books he wrote, because every human's filled with hypocrisy. But the main focus is that Marquis de Sade wanted to do as he pleased, and wanted to rule his own world the way he wanted to. At least that's one of the ideas. There were many people who disagreed with each other in his documentary. I actually kind of liked it. You had the stereotypical woman who looked like she got tortured in some part of her earlier life and let herself go to a big blimp and decided to do nothing but talk shit and said, he's nothing but a smut pornographer.
Oh,
you can never get anything from him.
Even though he was a hater.
And there was nothing good that came out of his books.
Okay. Almost all men are the same. Almost.
Yeah, just like how almost all women are the same.
But you're not, yeah, exactly. No, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
That
all
is
the
fucking
same.
true. It's rare to find someone as special as me.
Well, yeah, you kind of got that right. But we're all special in our own way.
Oh, I'm super special.
Back to the topic.
He doesn't want to talk about how special I am in front of everybody. He gets nervous.
Yeah. When it came to a description of Marquis's father, it is noted that he was a bisexual human. This was mentioned for a frame to portray that his father wouldn't have been around as much, for he had to act in secrecy with his dual lifestyle choice. Although, it is normal for servants to raise children in aristocratic,
Aristocratic.
yes,
You'll get there, Slim.
aristocratic
You'll get there.
aristocracy
Exactly.
in the human ape-man hierarchy of King Dung Heap Poop Face. The age of this documentary shows how much is missed from the psychological standpoint. You know, if you were afraid to be publicly with your man, Void, wouldn't you feel pent up?
I don't have a man. I am only interested in women.
But you would feel a little frustrated, right,
That's
Void?
a lie. Why do you have to lie so much?
I don't lie.
You and Gork and I have had many, many nights together.
And we've done stuff that would make Marquis de Sade envious.
And you guys did things before I was ever in the picture.
What the heck are you even talking about?
But Void, if you were not able to talk,
Hypothetically, yes.
yeah, hypothetically, with your man, if you were not able to walk down, hand in hand, down a cobblestone road at night with your same-sex partner, because it would have been a crime, I bet it would eat at your mind day and night, gnawing at you like a dog with a pig ear, slobbering all over your thoughts, drowning you in sloppy nonsense of how you have to pretend to be someone you're not, right, Void?
Exactly.
So, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I imagine it had a large impact on closeness that the father would have had with anyone, let alone his own son.
Intimacy issues. Gotcha.
Yeah. And also when his mother abandoned him due to his father's midnight gallivanting, according to the narrative portrayed in the documentary, you know, well, it was implied. They didn't explicitly state as such, but it sounds like the mother just left. They didn't talk anything about how Marquis de Sade beat the shit out of King or the Prince Philip or whatever, the French prince, whatever his name is.
A Bel Air.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have been a little fucker.
Yeah, so yeah, with his mom leaving and his dad going gallivanting around midnight dirty pump action squirt gun fights with other men.
In the bushes.
Probably in houses.
Yeah, he didn't want to be in public, remember? It was frowned upon to be gay back then.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like the 90s in New York.
The 90s in New York,
Oh, yeah.
it was better to be gay then.
70s, 80s, and 90s. There was it was more of a liberation for homosexuals in New York.
I'd say now
But
it's...
in a lot of clubs, it was a lot of butt pounding openly inside of the clubs.
And the AIDS epidemic. Ugh.
Lots of coke.
It was like, nobody's going to come in here who doesn't like this kind of shit, so it's like, boop, chick, boop, chick, boop, chick, boop.
Ah! They did a Sopranos episode about that, and they fucking killed the guy.
Who killed who?
They offed the closeted gangster.
Can I have some of my drink? Is there any left?
So, with this narrative, all you need is a father unhappy with his beard of a life, and a mother that failed to give you the assurance a child would require, so he would not have to want for more love, which would be Marquis de Sade. After the stint of early education, Marquis de Sade went to Lycée Louis le Grand in Paris at the age of 10 in 1750. Now, the documentary mentioned that there was a lot of beating at this particular school, although I imagine, corporal punishment was normal. Now, Britannica, source number 1, was a whitewashed version of all the accusations, while Biography.com has a more juicy narrative. So, like many people, we'll go after the blood trail. If it bleeds, it leads, right? Marquis de Sade was still the wild spirit when he was in Paris. He behaved in a manner that wasn't acceptable by the authority of his mental manipulators. So, he was punished by what was only described as corporal punishment by Biography.com. But the specified type of punishment that was mentioned in another article was flagellation. That's a deep dive one. If one searches flagellation, you will find, quote, flogging or beating, either as a religious discipline or for sexual gratification. And guess what I'm thinking from that definition, you guys?
I want you to flog me.
Void.
That's what you're thinking, right?
Void.
What?
When
you
I
got
read-
the enjoyment out of it.
It's like spanking,
Yeah,
but with like a
like Void said.
yeah.
Yeah, with a leather crop or a different tussle or a...
Yeah, Void knows all about
The
flagellation.
tassels, right?
Yeah, yep.
Void, you flagellate all the time?
Well, the women, yeah.
You look at women and you flagellate?
Will you let me do it to you, sweetie?
That's where you got it from.
Can I flog you?
He's thinking. Don't let him do that.
I'm asking you.
He's gonna want to get on me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking to your
My
honey bun.
husband.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that.
You may not like it, I'm not
No,
sure.
I said, can I do it to you?
Oh, me? No.
No, you don't want spankings with a leather whip?
Nope.
So you get to have all the fun.
I only do it because you like it. I get off on getting others off.
Okay. Gotcha.
The sexual gratification is in part created by his sexual deviance apex named Marquis de Sade. That's what I'm saying. So I think the or for sexual gratification came about when Marquis de Sade wrote all his shit and publicized or had it publicated.
Well, funny thing is, I think probably those practices actually maybe awoken something in some people, and he was the first to publicize it.
Yeah, exactly.
think-
He wasn't the first, but definitely the first to be known to write about it.
My favorite part of the documentary was watching him spank or slap the inside of the lady's thighs.
Yeah, that was in the documentary.
Yeah, that's what I said, the documentary.
Yeah, they actually had that.
Yes,
Yeah, it was nice.
it was hot.
Yeah. So I want you all to remember how the word sadist rose as a response to Marquis de Sade, at least in the narratives of what I've read. Either way, being flagellated was something Marquis is credited for focusing on habitually into his adult years. Although it is naive to believe that the sadist acts weren't done until this dude came about, as Void explicitly indicated.
Do you think that he enjoyed doing it to others because he had to endure that pain?
Oh, no, I think he actually probably liked that himself.
I was going to say, he might have
Actually.
liked being smacked around too. Maybe some of the things he wrote was about what they did to him.
Yeah, and also a lot of the women in some of these books, I think it was Juliet or Justine, one of the two. I know one was supposed to be like the eternally optimistic woman who constantly goes through hell as a masochist, while the other one is like this dirty slut who does everything her master tells her, and she likes flagellating people, and she's doing a lot to the whipping, and even in some of these books,
It was Justine.
it was, yeah, in some, Justine, I guess. And in some of these books, it was the woman who was doing most of the punishment. So it shows that women in some of these books are taking more action and being more of a forceful character, which to me, if I wanted to psychoanalyze Marquis de Sade, I'd say, well, Maybe that's what he was missing from his mother figure, is an assertive female character that took care of shit.
I was going to say, because there's a lot of high-powered men who pay women to hurt them or dominate them.
Yes.
And that could very much be what it is.
Yeah, especially since he resented Christianity for all its false glory that he witnessed as a child. You would think that his hate for Christianity was also in conflict with the idea that maybe there is a God and what he's doing is bad. So maybe he wanted to be punished because he was a bad boy.
Possibly, but I think he just seen that it was all bullshit and that people were so fake they would pretend to be good for church and then they would be hurting people behind doors and, abusing children and women, and it was sick.
Well, that was normal. I mean, shaken baby syndrome was popular back in the day.
I remember us talking about that.
He probably could see the oxymoron with church and all them saying, oh, repent for your sins, and then they go rape and fucking beat people, and treat them like shit. And that's not in the Bible.
Actually, it is.
I mean, it is, but as an example, not to do.
Yes.
Well, no.
Well,
Have you read Joshua from the Old Testament?
The
Jesus
Bible
Christ.
was probably different back then, too. You got to realize that the Bible now has been rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. It's not the same. They changed so much to fit their narrative of control.
Yes, very true. Back to topic. Once 1754 came around, he began his military career. Marquis de Sade quit the military career after the 7 Years' War in 1763. In America, the name of the 7 Years' War was known as the French and Indian War. For years, England and France had multiple skirmishes on American soil, like two bullies fighting over the sandbox after they kicked out the little red kid. A human known as Winston Churchill called it the First World War, although I saw no mention of Germany, Italy, Spain, Russia, China, Japan, India, Egypt, Ottomans, Mexicans, Argentinians, Swedes, Austrians, Moroccans, or any others. Just France, England, and America. So, I assume that during this wartime and servitude for the king, which I obtained from source 1, Britannica, we have Biography.com, source 3, claiming that the Marquis was into a lot of prostitution. I have a correlation sensation that many have, a correlation sensation towards prostitution for guys like Marquis de Sade. We have now been infected with the thought that the male sapien of the Homo was into debauchery with his uncle for at least 4 years, and that he lost it for flagellation sensation. I imagine what a man would do to a woman in the later half of the 1700s, when it was just a regular social elite with a woman. Now I think about what Marquis de Sade would do. At the very least, we have source 3 implying that the funds for the Sade family were being diminished. Diminished not only from the hinted prostitution times of Marquis de Sade, but also for his father, was described as frantically looking for a wife for his dirty ape-man son. Still in 1763, Marquis de Sade got legally attached. Marquis de Sade got married to the female sapien of the Homo named Renée Pelegi de Montreal. This accomplished two things: get the Marquis de Sade to have a primary victim for his flagellation, and hooked up the Punisher with a wealthy woman. At least a woman who came from a wealthy family, from what I read. Renée Pelegi de Montreal was the daughter of a wealthy government official, and her mother was a madame who did not really care for Marquis de Sade. I wonder why.
I thought she did like him at first.
At first, yes. He had written some stuff, I guess.
She really admired him at first.
With his open freeness.
Her. I think that she had a thing for him, is what they were saying.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that since he was sexually liberal, she was, oh, yeah. Because
Oh,
during that
yeah.
time, it was when philosophy was flourishing into this question everything theory.
And then she realized, wait, he's a little sick in the head.
Yeah, and all the revolution will
Was-
come up in the second part of this biography.
It was too late then
Yeah. Wait, what?
when she found out he was sick in the head. They were already married. Well, his or her daughter.
Yeah, that was from the documentary, right?
Yes.
After he swooned both the wifey and the wifey's mommy, Marquis had a woman to go to. But the narrative has Marquis renting out some rooms so he could go fulfill his sexual fantasies. The first devious offense that is mentioned was when the terrible Marquis de Sade forced a prostitute to use crosses in their evil sexual acts. Shortly after this horrible crime against the spaghetti monster, the prostitute had to confess herself to the local officials so Marquis de Sade could commit such heinous acts with cross penetration. Marquis is said to have been detained only for a short period, ready to go back to his recreated nativity scene with him as horny Jesus. Okay, that part I admit is me making up.
How do we not know Jesus was horny?
He had a crown of thorns.
Whoa, ouch. Sounds painful.
Sounds pretty masochistic.
Yeah, that means
Yeah,
she
Satan
wasn't horny because he had a
Yeah, he had
crown
a
of
horny crown.
thorns.
Yeah, and also eat my body, drink my blood. That's kind of masochistic too. Who would want to do that? I mean, I do that, but I mean, that's different.
Symbolized his flesh, and the wine that he made from water symbolized his blood. But who really fucking knows? Because that was a really long time ago, and we can't really say what happened then. It could have just been some weird, crazy, fucking drunken shit.
Well, really, there is speculation that it was crazy drunken shit because they're saying that wine was a common thing used to dissolve certain additives, including grain. And the bread, also body, could have been body of the crazy corn, which is barley that has ergot mold on it. I mean, that's just some speculation. And I guess now they found some items that might concur that narrative. So, what I've gathered from Source 4, the documentary, was that this prostitute was standing on top of the cross, stomping on it, and she was forced. Well, I mean, she let Marquis de Sade convince her to denounce her Christian faith. So, for this time, a person as ignorant of the faulty charade the church was pulling, I imagine the prostitute was fearful of not only the religious people catching wind of her scandalous cross-stomping acts with Marquis de Sade, but also of the cosmic muffin-top muncher. This isn't by any means the only moment I gathered about the narrative for Marquis de Sade's life. We also have an affair just months after the marriage with an actress named La Beauvoisine. Perfect name for her. She has sin inside of her name, Beauvoisine. It was more like the breasts of sin, La Beauvoisine. That's what that sounds like to me. What do you think? She probably put a cross in between her tits.
He probably did.
That move was called the La Beauvoisine.
He probably put his chick in between her tits too.
Oh, with the cross rubbing up against the bottom.
Possibly.
That might sound like it might hurt a little.
Well, we know Marquis de Sade likes flagellation.
He likes pain.
He's a sadist for himself. Yeah, so anyways, all this is said to have been done in the Marquis de Sade's quote-unquote little house. So although Marquis was turned on by punishment with religious implements, his wife Renee Pelleggi de Montreal wasn't able to divorce Marquis de Sade because she was his property.
Yes, he had too much sway.
Yes. And Marquis de Sade and Rene ended up with 3 little children. Source 1 and 3 didn't mention the names or dates for birth. So I found a source that actually divulged some data. I came up with 2 sons and a daughter. The names of the sons were Louis Marie and Donatien Claude Armand, where the name of the daughter was Madeleine Laure. Yeah. So with all his actions he did with the prostitutes and whatnot, in the year of 1768, Marquis was caught for his little house on the debauchery. This is where he went, to a fortress called Vincennes, by source 1, Britannica, also known as Castle Chateau of Vincennes. Just on the eastern outskirts of Paris, this fortress has a 52-meter-high tower designed to protect the royal family when it was originally built. I imagine this would have been a place to travel to for the royalty when the peasants became unpleasant, from the feudal rule. Nevertheless, this structure, claimed to have been built initially in the 11th century, became a castaway prison for members of the royal court. People who grew up with, overreactive parents, faking their lifestyle, hold social standing just to protect everybody from the fact that they're gay or bisexual, and then spend 5 years of early childhood witnessing religious authority figures completely breaking all the rules of their own institution they're upholding by fucking all sorts of people, including children and themselves. I imagine that this is the perfect place for people like Marquis de Sade. Not a psych ward. Well, at least not this time. None of it would have done good. They would have thought he was possessed.
Yeah, and performed exorcism.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
So, hold on. He named his daughter Magdalene?
No.
Who named
Madeleine. Laura. Madeleine. Like Madeline.
Madeline.
Madeline?
Okay.
Yeah. So, this stint wouldn't have lasted long. He only spent about a few weeks in this little prison thing. For all the things he'd done, with the cross lady and all that jazz.
Yes.
So he was out within the same year he got put in.
Oh, wow.
Now, for Easter Sunday, you guys. What do you guys normally do?
Eat ham, go find eggs.
Some people go to church.
Go to a omelet breakfast, a brunch.
Now, honey, I know how, voluptuous and insatiable you are.
Yeah, so sometimes,
What do you do on Easter?
I hide eggs for the little children to find.
What? You let little children find the eggs, the yoni eggs?
Not my yoni eggs.
Oh,
They're
good.
plastic eggs filled with candy.
Thank goodness. Wait, you put candy up your cooch?
No, sweetie, not my yoni eggs.
That's
Those
usually
are
where you hide
upstairs
things,
in
though.
my panty drawer.
But that's usually where you hide things.
In my pussy?
Yes.
But no, I hide them in the grass or in the fence or behind the air conditioner.
Oh,
Outside in the grass
that's where I keep my eggs.
or in the bushes.
I don't put them in the fridge.
No, these are plastic eggs that you open up.
Oh, right,
And you
candy
put
coated.
candy inside. You shove it. Jesus Christ. It's a tradition.
Yes, traditionally candy coated.
The fucking candy companies.
Why are you hiding vibrating eggs around your house?
Easy access for when I want to masturbate. That's why I hide the eggs around the house. The vibrating ones, those are for me.
So that's what we normally do for Sunday on, Easter.
Yes, and it's kind of like Christmas and Thanksgiving, except it's usually a ham, mashed potatoes, and the fixings, and the family gets together, and we feast, and we thank the Lord Jesus.
Yeah. So, for Marquis de Sade in the year of 1768, it was a little bit different. How different?
Extremely different.
I have a narrative from Biography.com that Marquis de Sade invited a chambermaid into his bedroom so he could cut her and pour wax into her wounds.
Oh, yeesh.
This is all I gathered from source 3, but source 1 and 4 tell much more.
I wouldn't mind hot wax on my body, but cutting, that's a little extreme.
Yeah,
I'm not into that.
me neither.
Please
Infections.
don't cut me.
I don't like blood. I'll pass out.
But you can put hot wax on me.
Yes, that's right. I'll pass out at the sight of blood in a living organism, like a human. But when it comes to a human that's been dead and
wax.
a cadaver... Yeah, I know what you said. Yeah, everybody knows what you said. I want to have sex, blah, blah, blah.
I just want hot wax on me.
Yeah, I know. Hot wax.
Punish
Whoa,
me.
Punish me.
Like
You
a
know,
little
they
girl.
sell that special wax for it.
Except I'm not a little girl.
You want me to dress up like Santa Claus? Ho, ho, ho. What do you want from my sack, baby?
Yes, remember we already talked about this fantasy.
You want to go up and down her chimney.
We talked about the fantasy where I'm the little naughty girl and you're Santa Claus.
Yes, and I'll give you my 2 lumps of coal.
Yes, and you're Yule log.
Yule log.
Yes, I want your Yule log in my cave.
Are you saying YOLO?
Yule log.
I heard this really old dude the
You
other
fucking
day.
asshole.
He said YOLO, and I said ho 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 ho.
Did you really laugh like that, sweetie?
Yeah,
Where was this at?
work.
Oh, jeez.
Craig from work. He don't listen to this.
Well, yeah.
He's too good. He prefers NPR. Now today, we're going to be talking about how I shat my pants.
Because I wear depends.
And it matches my khakis.
Yes.
Mine are pink, like my panties.
What, your shits or your khakis?
Both.
Ew.
Mostly my depends.
Oh.
It depends, right?
Yes, it does depend. On my depends.
Yeah, so next up, we have Gork here with some incredibly insane shit. That's what they would say on NPR.
Yeah.
Except for without the colorful words.
Yes, they'd be like,
As
some extremely disturbing stuff he's talking about.
Dun,
We
dun,
would-
dun, 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 dun.
we would like to excuse the graphic language, for its nature was volatile. For the vocabulary that Gork had is that of a 3-year-old child that just learned all the naughty words from their parents when they got in a fight.
Viewer or listener, be advised.
Yes.
Be advised of the naughty language.
My favorite one is that they feel compelled to have to say, viewer discretion advised. Not all the opinions are held by the producers or Fox News and Company.
Why are you bringing Fox News into this?
Well, and it was an example, CNN. Okay, there you go. We got both of the retards.
We know they both suck ass.
Did you know Spotify takes off some of our episodes?
Why is that?
We probably went a little crazy.
Yeah, probably some of our dirty fucking language. I
Yeah.
don't know, talking about blue waffles and shit.
No, those are up.
So I don't know what it is. We gotta figure out what's in the ones they took down.
Yeah. So let's go back to this chambermaid, huh?
Hurry up.
Poor lady.
I gotta plug in my phone.
Now, source 4 tells much more, along with source 1, right? They say that this spectacular Sunday special was done to a woman picked up from a street. Source 4 indicated through reading of legal documents that the woman was just a peasant willing to do some cleaning of the house, and thought that this was all she was purchased to do. Her name was Rose Keller. Now, if one uses source 1, Britannica.com, they would just believe that Rose Keller was a prostitute. No questions asked. Perhaps Rose Keller lied in order to be heard by the court for her civil pursuit, because prostitutes were commonly viewed as subspecies of humans.
Animals.
He said, well, I mean, animals, yeah, all humans are animals.
Yes.
Either way, Rose Keller did not like being poked. She didn't like the bleeding. She didn't like the whipping. She didn't like the wax pouring, and so on. After this, it was called the Rose Keller Incident, and the Sade family paid a sum to keep the chambermaid silent when it came to testifying against the sex offender named Marquis de Sade. Either way, through the grapevine, it oozed out this bit of information. I imagine it had included more details of other stories, such as, the anal cross penetration and pussy flagellation. Source 4,
I
what?
can't believe she didn't like that stuff.
Yeah, imagine
That sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, nothing turns me on more than stomping on some stupid symbol that someone worships and say, I hate this religion.
Well, I'm talking about the candle wax and the whipping and the fucking and all that stuff.
If I said, I hate Jesus, I'll come right now. Oh, there we go.
That quick? That's faster than normal.
Jesus
Do I
was
just
an
need
asshole.
to say that? Do I just need to talk about how shitty Jesus is when you're inside me?
Yes. You know what
New
would really
tip,
do the trick?
Get Gork off really fast by what?
You could say, fuck me, daddy Jesus. And I'd go, oh.
Okay, I'm going to try that one.
Yeah. So, Source 4, the documentary, mentioned that this chambermaid took the Marquis de Sade to civil court, where she would take money that was offered for the issues that were caused. And, Biography.com mentioned that this was just obscurity that Marquis de Sade had to spend his time in. The obscurity was all one would learn from Biography.com. While if you went to Britannica, one would find that this wasn't the end of the punishment. No. The obscurity really came from a nice way of saying that he went into prison, this time for longer than a few weeks. The next day he would be the fortress of Pierre-en-Saice, near Lyon. The castle called Pierre-en-Saice is indicated as being a structure built between the 10th and 12th century, as a border between France and the Roman Helmet Empire. There is a long history of archbishops and so on, going back and forth between pledging allegiance to France or Roman authorities, until the King of France snatched it up with force because he was done with the historical repeats of that he had probably read about for centuries. During 1768, it was a French prison for the unwanted humans labeled as criminals for their actions or accusations of said criminals. This is where Marquis de Sade would stay for a bit. If one wants more history on this castle, check out Source 7 inside of the episode description below. Source 7 had more detail regarding the history than Source 6 did, which is what I used for the previous castle, or fortress, or whatever you want to call it. Nearly 4 years passed when Marquis de Sade was then released. He returned to his estate called Chateau of Les Costes, and just when Marquis de Sade was released in 1774, the Marquis realized that he required more money for what he was about to do. So he went to Marseille to engage with his manservant named Latour. They needed to get some prostitutes to get things really going. This is where they took out their Piggly Wigglies and divulged themselves with some prostitutes. After the events, from what I read in Source 1, was that Marquis took command of his manservant, as one would do, and performed sodomy. With the horse still lingering around, they wanted to get some more action as they got turned on from the anal pounding. So the whore bags took some Spanish fly aphrodisiacs, according to Britannica1.com, or Source 1 Britannica.
What
yes,
is
they
that?
mentioned. They said it was Spanish fly.
What
it was
is
some
Spanish fly?
pills, I guess. Anyways,
I want some.
The batch that they had must have been bad because they ended up having stomach pain.
Okay, I don't want that.
The narrative has them feeling like Marquis de Sade poisoned them. Either because, Marquis de Sade was painted out to be a horrifying sexual deviant monster who likes to stomp on crosses.
Didn't want to get caught again.
Or it was also, another idea is that it wasn't uncommon for prostitutes to be used in such a fashion. I like to imagine that it was a little bit of both. It wasn't uncommon for prostitutes to go missing, and also wasn't uncommon to hear of Marquis de Sade, the horrific sexual beast.
I think he just didn't want to get caught again and get in trouble.
He didn't poison them. They survived.
Oh.
They ratted him out.
Well, that sucks.
Him and his manservant.
Maybe he tried to kill them, and it didn't work.
He was ratted out. He was ratted out by the prostitutes.
I want some horsefly, or whatever that is.
For sodomizing his manservant.
I don't know if you should handle me then, though. It might be too much.
What?
If I took some of that horsefly stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Buzzing around the room?
I don't know. My appetite is
rubbing your hands together.
Already a lot. So
you fly on top of me and you land on me and rub your hands together and spit on me.
That's what I'm going to do tonight.
Licking your lips going...
Yeah, I'm going to spit on you tonight. You ready?
Yeah. Hey, honey buns.
Yes?
Where did your son go?
I
Right
think
here.
Oh, there you
I was looking up Spanish fly.
Oh, yes. Tell me, what is it? Son, tell me. I got to know what this is.
Oil from a crushed up beetle.
Illuminating.
It's oil from the crust of a beetle?
Crushed up beetle.
Oh, from crushed up beetle.
That's what I want.
The emerald green beetle in the blister beetle family is such a species where used in preparation often by traditional aphrodisiacs referred to as Spanish fly.
Oh, so that's probably why they got stomach aches. They had blisters in their stomachs.
Oh, yeah, I don't want that.
So, yes, once the prostitutes complained about being poisoned by some blistering agent and Spanish fly, they ratted both Marquis de Sade and his lover boy manservant for sodomy. The story jumps right into how both Marquis de Sade and his manservant, I shall now call Mr. Slave.
Oh,
both.
Yes.
You okay, Void?
I was just mimicking Mr. Slave. Jesus Christ.
Do they have a documentary on this manservant of Marquis de Sade?
No, I heard about Richard Gere and a hamster.
Richard Gere?
And the hamster.
It's an old wives' tale.
Now, that's an interesting name, Richard
Put a
Gere.
hamster up his ass, right?
I believe that is the rumor.
Yeah, so that's nice. Did he
It
get
was
arrested?
alive.
Did he get arrested?
I don't know.
Huh. Maybe he did what Marquis de Sade did with his manservant, Mr. Slave. They went to the King of Sardinia's estates. Or one of the estates of the King of Sardinia. The King of Sardinia may have been a fishy dude, but he still had the two sex poodles arrested and sent back to face the Parliament of Aix. Aix is a province in France. When it came to butthole buddies, the Parliament of Aix is said to have sentenced them both to be executed. And on September 12th of 1772, there was an effigy of Marquis de Sade and Mr. Slave being executed.
Oh, that's just terrible.
They are so excited that they're like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Ha 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 ha. And we're going to have them locked up for a while. So, just like the castle of Pierre in size, the next prison they went to find themselves in was, or at least Marquis de Sade, would be the fortress of Miolans, where it was also another French strategic defense fortress to protect them from the Roman Empire helmet. The Roman helmet empire. But rather than being close to Lyons, it was in a part of France called Savoy. Like most old castles, this went through periods of increased structure size, expanded dominance for that region. If one wants to know more details, just go to Wikipedia. I cited it as source 8, and I hate citing Wikipedia.
Can't anybody change Wikipedia?
Yeah, but a lot of moderators will change it back if they don't find any. You have to cite stuff now.
Oh, because
At
I
least that's what
remember
I
a long
understand.
time ago when people would change stuff and like it'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
some crazy shit.
I remember way back in the day when I was in, 6th or 5th grade? I think it was 5th grade, because I remember Miss Van. She was a 5th grade teacher, and I did a little speech on some, what was it? Diamondback rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
And someone in one of the articles called the Diamondback a real mother. And I cited that when I was in 5th grade. And I just thought it meant, like, well, they take care of their, not like most reptiles, they take care of their young, a real mother. But really, it meant motherfucker. So the teacher, I got away with doing it, but after a few years, I realized what I did. And it was pretty awesome. I got to say something bad without knowing it in front of a class in 5th grade. Isn't that nice, Void?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, hopefully you didn't embarrass yourself too much.
Embarrass myself?
Well, yes, didn't you say something in front of the class?
Yeah, I called... What did I say in front of the class, Void?
You called the teacher something, right?
Yes, I talked about her hairy nipples.
Really?
No! I should have just went along with it.
He said that the Diamondback was a real mother.
Because an article I read in the 90s on the internet had that. The Diamondback was a real mother. Didn't even say motherfucker. They just said mother.
It's a real mother.
So others were like, whoa, this reptile takes care of their young. That's not normal. And I wanted to say that, so I said it in my speech. I was like, this thing's a real mother.
They must have thought you were so gullible, but you misunderstood what they said in the
I was in 5th grade. The teacher understood I was just a kid reciting an article I read online. In 5th grade, most kids didn't understand what that meant.
How dare you not know what a mother is?
Yeah. Oh,
in
yeah.
that context.
Oh, yes, definitely. How dare I confuse a real mother? I would do that nowadays. If someone said they are a real mother, I was like, oh, yeah. Right? You got to explicitly state, fucker.
I guess he's not a Samuel L. Jackson fan.
No, I'm not. Who's this
Not
Samuel L.
in
Jackson?
5th grade, he wasn't.
I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, what is up with Samuel L. Jackson?
Who's this guy?
He says motherfucker a lot.
Motherfucker.
Yes, that's what they meant in the article.
Motherfucker. Well, of course I know that now.
Hey,
How'd it go over?
Hey,
Good
God
Void.
damn it, Void. What kind
Void.
of drugs are you on?
hey, Voids.
What?
You're a real motherfucker.
Oh, of course I am. I have fucked. Not my own mother.
Yes, you did.
I am your mother.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Okay, Void. Okay.
We're on this again.
We'll go along with it, Void.
Complete denial.
Okay, let's just get back to topic.
No, Void. Let's talk
See?
about your gallivanting
Denial.
with your mommy.
Yes.
No.
It has
no
ended.
Oedipus complex here.
It has ended.
Denial. Remember what I told you, honey? Common theme amongst the humans. Denial. Void, thank you for demonstrating exactly what that is.
Yes.
You like our lights?
Yes, very pretty.
I mean, we're almost the same age, son.
Anyways,
We're
this
adults. It's okay.
Anyways,
I think you just gave it away that maybe we're not really related.
No. Really?
Well, anyways, this is the end of episode 99. Marquis de Sade Part 1. Hopefully, next episode we'll finish the narrative called the biography and move on to some more details that I find interesting along the lines of the history of neuroscience, or at least understanding mentality of human beings.
Yeah,
I think this was
Insect
very
world.
enlightening about the
Very
human condition.
interesting. It's fucking disgusting. You guys need to listen next week because it's some sick sadistic
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I barely touched the surface. Like, I read some of the excerpts from some of his books, and let me tell you,
Some of it makes me very uncomfortable.
what we do here on the podcast, the incest with Void and his mom, and me, Void's friends, portraying or doing all these things with
And my
him,
husband.
and also his best friend's stepdad. So, like, I find a lot of pressure doing this, but it's great. It's wonderful. It's not as bad, actually, as...
They're best friends. He's my husband. We all
Exactly.
used to have orgies, threesomes.
Yes,
It's weird.
It's not as bad as what Marquis de Sade
But then we
described.
got married and then stopped.
Yes,
the
because hence the
threesomes.
sadomasochism.
So if you like us, you can find us all over the web. In the Tick of Talk with the Nut Gatherer or Gorked Mouth. The Correlation Sensation for Instagram or the Correlation Sen 1 for Twitter. Or the Correlation Sensation Podcast for Facebook. I am Gorked Mouth on Face Fuck Your Mom Book. If you like it, you could become a tribe member. And tribe members get a fancy tribe title. Like we have the Nut Gatherer here today. She's wonderful. She's very supportive and kind. And she's very understanding when I have my emotional outburst of feeling inadequate because I'm a male sapien of the Homo who is cisgender and I am considered white. And I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now.
You should.
I just want to live my life carefree, not get shot. That's cool. Now I am an asshole. You don't
What
even know
if
me.
God was one of... No, kid.
We love everybody
You could become like,
and we hate everybody.
yeah, so we don't just have the Nut Gatherer, you guys, as part of the tribe. That'd be a very lonely tribe.
Yes.
We do have the Squirrel Hunter, then the Nut Gatherer, and we have like the Nut Picker, the Nut Commander, and then we have the Nut Trapper, we have the Nut Driver, we have the Nut Taster, and hopefully the Nut Launcher. That'll be number 15, I think. Okay. But we also have the Logger, Tom Nye, who lives in the UK. Hello, Tom Nye.
What's up?
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah.
I miss you, Tom Nye.
That's not even the right one. We established I picked up the wrong Tom Nye.
I know.
That bastard. I wonder what he's doing now. But then we also have the Log Splitter, or the Wood Splitter, I mean. The Rock Smasher, the Rock Grinder, the Rock Milker. We also have, what's his name? Oh, the Witch Doctor.
Yes.
And so we have a nice little tribe. We all get free t-shirts, yes. One of a kind. I mean, one of out of 100. And it's a negative of our original cover art, which is going to be changed soon, I think.
And it glows in the dark.
Yes, it glows in the dark.
It's really cool.
And it will be required, like a vaccination card, when you come to party with us. And we will have parties in the future.
Don't forget about Jimmy's D's teas.
Yes, Jimmy D, the big hairy Jimmy D's tees. Yeah, he's been doing some screen printing. Well, guess what he uses for his ink? Comes from his big hairy D,
His spunk? He puts his spunk
Yeah,
in
it goes
there?
in the dark.
Oh.
Yeah, he listened to too much so-fucking podcasts, so he started taking uranium and sticking them up his urethra.
Oh, shit.
So now he has glowing jizz.
That's
Oh.
awesome.
Yeah,
We
that's
should
not a
invite
lie.
him. We should invite him over. Then we can paint on the walls.
Oh, that's a good
I
idea.
know.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite. One particular sapien of the Homo we need to mention. Felipe Honijos. I feel bad for mispronouncing your name every single time.
I think it's Janitos.
And on your Facebook, you actually have experienced people mispronouncing your name so much, you have what the dictionary does with a word. You have it broken down into how it's supposed to be said.
Everybody has that capability.
He's the nut trapper. He shares almost every single, if not every single, I think he does share every single time I put it on Facebook.
Yeah, he's definitely a VIP.
We
man.
gotta get some stickers made
Yes.
so we can send them out to people who win.
Special thanks to you, Felipe.
And when we get them made, the first person we're gonna send them to is the nut rubber.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably really good at rubbing stickers.
Yeah, he probably is.
He knows how to rub a knot,
He does.
make it all shiny for the squirrels.
Yep.
Yeah. So we bid you adieu. Until next time, what do we do, you guys?
Wait, to get a shirt.
Oh, to get a shirt. Oh, yeah. I talked all about that shirt and didn't say how you get the shirt.
Yeah, if you want to be a part of our tribe, get a shirt, you got to rate us and share it.
And follow.
Yes, and follow us, and then let us know.
And give us a rating.
Yeah, improve. You know, sharing social media. Like the nut rubber.
Yes.
Yes. So until next week, what we do?
We say bye-bye.
Believe in peace.
Believe in peace. Bye.